That's all right. It looks like one of the riders was coming in then, but it is the number 27 of Jack Bettis on the MRO Mini Twin. One of the MRO Mini Twin riders just coming in, so I suspect he's just getting everything sorted after he had a bit of an off yesterday. But he's in the pits. We do have the green flag at the back. Red flag at the front is being removed then, so the red lights will be on very shortly. In fact, there they are, right on cue. Red lights are on and out they go, and that's a lot of fresh air underneath the front wheel for number 16 of Luke McRae, but it is going to be Adrian Kershaw having a sniff of the inside of pole position man Joe Holdsworth, but Joe holds on to the lead. Luke McRae, despite wheeling his way from the grid, he's in third position at the moment. I can see Sean O'Hara in sixth place, but Luke McRae trying to find his way around number 23 of Adrian Kershaw, but it's Joe Holdsworth who takes the run in.
Yep, looks like that is exactly the case. I think that's McRae there in second now. I think that's his orange wheels as they disappear down towards Ireland, and Holdsworth looks as though he's been able to hold the gap. I don't think McRae's close enough to quite pick up the toe. He's about half a dozen bike lengths behind. Obviously Luke, he might be a middleweight, but he must be right at the top of the scales there, given that brother Max is not that much bigger, even, and he lists into the heavyweight class. So they disappear off. I think it was Holdsworth who led the way. They've certainly made their way over the top and down through Denton safely. It's going to be interesting as they come over the top here at the hill and then down into Izzy's chicane, because it's probably okay to brake. There looks like there's a little bit of a damp patch just around about the turning point. So down we come. They're all single file at the moment, actually. And that is Holdsworth from McRae, I think. It's always very difficult, as you know here, Bradley, to try and keep an eye on the bikes coming past you and also the ones breaking into the chicanes and watch them all through very safely. Oh, we've got some issues there, maybe gear selection problems or something like that for the 59 machine. Definitely somebody struggling. Sorry?
Calvin Grimes, I think that is.
Okay, Calvin is definitely struggling with something now. Looks like he's got going again, but he's lost a lot of places. A lot of rookies in this class as well. Very popular rookie championship. But Philip Ianson is definitely the class of the field in the rookies so far this year, isn't he?
Certainly is. Pole position yesterday, wasn't he, for the first race?
Overall.
Ianson adds a change for the race lead. That's Luke McRae looking for the inside at Lodge. Joe Holdsworth then at the end of lap number one, just being put back down to second place, but he's right in the slipstream of Luke McRae. Pulls out to what will be giving the inside in towards Hull corner and almost elbow to elbow stuff, but it's Joe Holdsworth who now retakes the lead in towards Old Hull. Luke McRae in second place, and that's Adrian Kershaw in third, Pete Woodall in fourth place, Max McRae in fifth, Sean O'Hara makes up 2 positions to put him in sixth place, and it's Colt Dwyer. Mark Osborne makes up 4 positions, but the biggest mover, as you would expect from the back of the grid, is number 87, Finn Shortkeith, so he'll be one to watch on this lap.
Yeah, Finn is a bit of a class act. I'm not sure he's a former champion. I genuinely can't remember. I do know he's a serious contender. I recognise the name from a few years ago when Thundersport, this was the biggest class at Thundersport. It was something that Dave took on. Obviously there's been CB500 racing at BSB level many years ago now, and Dave decided to make it a class, and it's been incredibly popular and successful at Thundersport. A little bit disjointed, but now I think they've really found their feet with Bemsey, and because of the way we keep our rules nice and tight, it's all very well being a champion somewhere else, but if you're cheating, it's definitely a hollow victory, whereas here, if you're at the sharp end, you're doing it because you're on a very equal bike. As they come over the top then, down towards me, am I going to see some overtake? Oh, blimey, I thought there was only one bike out in front. Actually, that was Holdsworth out in front with McRae tucked right behind him. He ducks out the last minute. Can't do anything about that lead, though. The 23 machine. Adrian Kershaw, yeah, was in the third place there. There's Woodall right at the sharp end. Max McRae also in the mix as well. Big long line of bikes still coming down over the hill. A few overtaking manoeuvres being thought about. Some of the rookies having a good go on the brakes down the inside there. Getting away with it too. So, yep, this is a good little rookie scrap at the back, actually. I'm not sure which place in the rookies they're going for, but the 716 has just taken over the lead of that half dozen or so bunch of bikes arguing over the smaller pots. But I'm guessing Philip Ianson is well away in the lead of the rookie championship, isn't he, mate?
I'd imagine so. As Luke McRae leads the way from Joe Holdsworth now across the line. I'm just keeping my eye out for Phil Ianson. There goes number 26, Colt Dwyer, 11, Mark Osborne. That's the 43 of Matt Sylvester. Then it is 626, Jamie Horner. There's Phil Ianson, number 505. He's in 11th position at the end of lap number 2. But quickest man on the circuit is the race leader second now, Keith. Luke McRae, Joe Holdsworth 0.2 of a second behind, but they do have 2.2 seconds advantage over the following quartet, and that is Adrian Kershaw, Max McRae, Pete Woodall, and Sean O'Hara. So only 0.7 of a second separates those four riders.
Well, nose to tail stuff as they disappear up Island Bend there. I can see a big bunch of midfield riders coming down into Denton's as well. Not too many lonely riders out there at this stage. The real battle, though, is you say there's that one between Holdsworth and McRae at the sharp end, waiting for them to appear into my sight once again as they disappear out. It's a long way from where they disappear off up to Island Bend until they go through Shallow Hills and down at the chicane. Go, mate.
Just a quick one, Keith. You mentioned Calvin Grimes having a few issues on the opening lap. He's made up 4 places on this lap, so he is up to 16th overall. Okay,
good. He's making it there. And once again, Holdsworth is obviously very strong around the back section here because he has retaken that lead from McRae. Then it is Kershaw who is still involved in that very close battle. Don't tell me. It's Max McRae, isn't it? And then we've got the number 7 machine of O'Hara. I think he might have passed Woodall on that lap as well. I only got a glimpse of them because you turn your head here and there's 15 bikes have gone past you. Really have.
Certainly looks.
What sort of lap times are we doing at the moment, mate?
Lap times 2:02.0 is the fastest lap of the race for Luke McRae, but Joe Holdsworth has gone purple in sector number 1. So they're coming around Lodge now, and we're coming back into our sight underneath the bridge at Deers Leap. So it is Luke McRae who still leads the way, but last time around it was by 0.219. This time around it's by 0.238, so fastest lap of the race goes at 1.738. Adrian Kershaw, Max McRae, Sean O'Hara, Pete Woodall, and then just back of that group it's Colt Dwyer. Max Sylvester and Mark Osborne having a good scrap. There's only a 1/10 of a second separating those two guys, as Jamie Horner leads Phil Jansen. Of course, Phil's still the leading rookie. Next rookie in the line is the 155 machine of Adams. That is for 15th place overall, ahead of Calvin Grimes, who is lapping in the 207, low 207s, Keith.
Definitely got that deja vu thing going on as they race up towards Ireland. McRae came down the hill into Denton's. Again, just a bike length or so ahead of Holdsworth. He's leading the race at exactly the right moment. He's trying to make that break, but we know that Holdsworth is strong. Maybe it would have paid a dividend for him to follow Holdsworth. It's a very difficult thing to go to think, I'll follow him around there and see where I'm losing time to him. But that's not an option for McRae. He just wants to get in front, try and break the man behind him.
It is Holdsworth now in front of him.
I was going to say that it's going to change again. Here comes McRae though down the inside into his. He's in his side by side, and Luke does take the lead. The orange wheels are now leading out of Knickerbrook for the first time all race. They flick left, flick right, and disappear up the hill. Now he's the man in 3rd place there, Kershaw. He's starting to establish himself now in that place ahead of McRae. O'Hara is indeed ahead of Woodall, but not by very much at all. Colt Dwyer is just a little bit behind, but Colt has got a handy gap behind him before Sylvester comes through as well. But that battle at the front, this is going to go on for the whole race. I think these two are desperate to beat each other. I have to say at the moment, I think McRae is looking a little bit stronger because I think he's strong in this second half of the lap here, and he might have a better advantage than he's had so far. But Holdsworth seems to be able to dig deep and find something, doesn't he, Bradley?
He certainly does, but at the moment I think this could well be the biggest advantage we've seen all race for Luke McRae. He leads by more than half a second. It's 0.604. Adrian Kershaw, Max McRae up next, Sean O'Hara and Pete Woodall. Looks like Colt Dwyer has just lost touch with the group in front of him, but still a solid position for him in 7th, second in class in fact for Colt Dwyer. Matt Sylvester and Mark Osborne continue their battle. Jamie Horner and Phil Jansen up next. But 0.6 of a second is the gap between Luke McRae and Joe Holdsworth. But interestingly enough, Keith, the fastest lap of the race goes to the man in 3rd place. That's number 23, Adrian Kershaw. He's the only man to go sub 2-minute 1 with a 2-minute 0.935 on that previous lap.
Okay, he's obviously finding that good dry line around the track. It's pretty much established itself now. So when they disappeared out of my sight, I have to say it looks as though McRae had a handy advantage, but we do know this is Holdsworth's strongest section of the track. The gap, as you said, was about 0.6 of a second, which is probably what it was, but it looked as though he got very good drive out of Denton's, and every other lap he has been very strong in this back section, so really keen to see them come over the top, and here's they do so right on cue, and that is still McRae out in front, but Holdsworth has definitely closed him down. You'll have to look at the sector times, but I reckon that's come down to probably 2 or 3 tenths now. And also, the man who was the fastest on the track is coming quickly. That 23 of Kershaw definitely gaining bit by bit. I can see Woodall and O'Hara there, nose to tail as well. O'Hara having a quick look over his shoulder into the beady eyes of Woodall, who's looking up the inside as they go up under the bridge there. So definitely a couple of good scraps going on throughout the top 10 here, mate.
Certainly is. I'll keep an eye on it. As I said, we did initially have yellow flags down here at Old Hall. Looks like we've got one rider down, but they were up and perfectly okay. So yellow flags have now been put back as Adrian Kershaw again goes purple in sector number 1 by 8/10 of a second quicker than the man in front. 6/10 of a second quicker than Luke McRae, your race leader. But here they come out of Deer's Leap, and Adrian Kershaw is whether this is Joe Holdsworth going a little bit slower or Adrian Kershaw going quicker, we'll have a look at the times. But Luke McRae leads by 1.3 seconds. Joe Holdsworth up next, but into the 1:59s now for Adrian Kershaw. 59.800. That is the quickest lap we have seen all weekend in the races for the Thunderbike 500s. The only man to go sub 2 minutes this weekend in a race for the Thunderbike 500s with that lap time. Max McRae, Sean O'Hara, the gap is now 1.9. But Sean O'Hara has Pete Woodall all over him by less than 1/10 of a second as they go down to you.
Yeah, no, McRae's come down the hill and he is well out in front. I think Kershaw has found his way past on Holdsworth. I'm sure a change of wheel colour there as they disappeared off. Now the question mark is, has Kershaw got enough in reserve to chase hard after McRae? What sort of lap time did McRae do last time round, mate?
McRae did a 2:03 and Holdsworth did a 2:01.1.
Okay, and what about Kershaw?
Kershaw 59.8.
Yeah, right. So quite a bit quicker than the guys in front of him by half a second. Right, here you go. Is it over the top guy, mate?
That yellow flag, I think, that looks like Will Kearney hasn't come around to complete lap number 5.
Okay, right. McRae still out in front, and as I suspected, that is the bike of Kershaw, who has now moved up into second. I reckon he's about 3/4 of a second or so. You're going to get confirmation of the gaps, or certainly the sector times as they disappear up Old Hall. The real battle is still between Woodall and O'Hara for the minor placings there. Obviously a former champion, Pete Woodall, in the MZs a couple of times if I remember rightly, and certainly a good competitor. He's raced power bikes and things over the years as well. I can see the race winner from one of the race winners yesterday, Mark Osborne. He's a little bit further down, the Rochester-based rider, but still doing very well out there. What sort of sector times have you got for the first two there, mate?
Sector times coming in, looks like Joe Holdsworth, he did a 29 compared to the 27s of the guys around. So Luke McRae is across the line. Adrian Kershaw is up into second place.
Yes.
Lap times coming in, Luke McRae at 59.9, Kershaw at 2:0.1 on that previous lap.
Okay. I thought he'd be going quicker.
59s for McRae, Holdsworth a 2:03.3, and that dropped him 2.2 seconds away from the rear wheel of Adrian Kershaw. Max McRae, Sean O'Hara and Pete Woodall. Again, Sean O'Hara and Pete Woodall separated by 7/100ths of a second.
Yeah.
Further down the... Finn Chalk's just come past here as well. He's made up a position on Jamie Horner. So Finn Chalk, that puts him 11th overall ahead of Jamie Horner. Next up Ian Carter, then it's the 36 of Joe Baldry heading in towards Old Hall now. Relatively lonely ride for him ahead of the 155 machine. That's one of the rookie riders of Paul Adams, who started 21st. He's now up to 15th overall in this race as Simon Finch is continuing his battle with the 129 of Fitzsimmons.
I wonder if it's a tyre thing with Holdsworth. I'm wondering if he went out there on wet weather tyres or something like that, and they might be starting to let him down a bit, because it looked to me as though Max McRae was coming on very fast as well to the back end of Holdsworth. Got a rookie rider coming past me now, and I've got the leaders coming up. I don't think it's going to make any great difference because he's going quite slowly to get caught in the Alton Park circuit. You're not exactly breaking the sound barrier, are you? Past me, and yeah, that is Max. He's past Holdsworth. I'll tell you what, the other one is going to be interesting there. How many laps have we got left to go, mate?
When they come across the line, it will be 2 laps to go.
Okay, so I think that the O'Hara-Woodall battle is going to catch Holdsworth very shortly indeed. So the difference there is that those two will be arguing over position, so it could be very, very close indeed. I can see Anson giving somebody a very hard time as the rider looks behind them and to see the orange vested one right in his wheel tracks as they disappear up the road there.
Penultimate lap now starting, Keith, as Luke McRae heads into Old Hall Corner, and Adrian Kershaw just finding his way through on one of the rookie riders, and Max McRae through on Joe Holdsworth, so I think he could be right about the tyres there, Keith, because he is falling down.
Oh, sorry, got somebody hitting the deck right in front of me, the number 27 machine, I think that is. The rider is down, and he's rolling to his feet, he's okay. So he's down, but not, well, he's basically out, and somebody else has gone very, very wide. He's on the wet grass, but he's kept it up right through the gravel, just looking to rejoin. Let's hope he can do that without too much wheel spin. But is that 27? I'll get confirmation. It's the golf-coloured machine. Can't quite see the number there, but the rider is up. He's limping away, a little bit of a twisted ankle perhaps, but nothing too serious. Didn't quite catch what caused that incident. Definitely two of them. I'm guessing they suddenly discovered that 2 into 1 apex does not go in a hurry. So the big red rock monster, as the marshals obviously quickly on the spot, they start dragging the bike. It's always hard to drag a bike through the gravel anyway, but fortunately they've got the snatch straps and some friends to help them as the yellow flags, of course, go a-fluttering.
So got a couple of riders dropping down the timing screen here. We've got 59, 22 Simon Finch is one of those.
Simon, unfortunately.
It could well be Calvin Grimes, number 59,
who's the other one,
was running on to the grass there but rejoining. So I'll keep an eye on where he rejoins, because let's not forget he had that issue at the start, didn't he? We've got a rider coming into the pits here. So we'll keep an eye on who that could well be. Looks like may even be Calvin. We'll keep an eye on that one. So next time when they come across the line, it will be the last lap flag. I'm just about seeing it starting to get readied for Luke McRae, because he went purple in sector number 1. He's pulled out 1.2 seconds over Adrian Kershaw in the first sector alone on that penultimate lap, Keith. So Luke McRae is certainly showing no signs of slowing down. Here he comes across the line now to start the final lap, and it's a 1 minute 59.052. So bearing in mind a couple of laps ago, and only one rider had gone sub 2 minutes, we're now into the very low 59s for Luke McRae. Adrian Kershaw is up next, 5 seconds adrift now, as Sean O'Hara and Pete Woodall continue their fight. There is a tail ender, I think, in the mix there. Is there? No, it's Joe Holdsworth. So Joe Holdsworth has split Sean O'Hara and Pete Woodall. There's a three-way fight for 4th position at this stage. O'Hara has gone through on Holdsworth. Pete Woodall is yet to do so, but it is 0.2 of a second between O'Hara and Holdsworth, 0.1 of a second between Holdsworth and Woodall.
I think O'Hara's starting to look a little bit safe in that position, actually, because Woodall still hasn't quite found his way past on the machine of Holdsworth. Holdsworth, early leader, of course. I'm thinking that's a tyre thing. It may or may not be, but it would kind of make sense that he's gone out on not quite the right tyre combination. Maybe he's gone out on a front wet and a dry rear, something like that. Who knows? But obviously the riders on the track will be able to report back as to exactly what the conditions are like out there, but I think it's pretty much dry weather tyre time for most people. These guys, of course, and girls, are the ones on the scene, so they know exactly what's going on. But we're getting some very good lean angles through the corner here, as I think that was McRae actually making his way past me. Yep, there goes Kershaw as well, so that battle for O'Hara. So yep, O'Hara is, he's now got Max McRae on his side, so I don't think he's going to be close enough to have a go. I don't know if Woodall's going to be quite close enough to O'Hara, unless O'Hara has a bit of a twitch somewhere at the back. But unfortunately for the former leader Holdsworth, he's now relegated another place, unfortunately. Still a few battles going on down through the track, but I think our leader is going to be with you and greeting the checkered flag very shortly indeed, Bradley.
Right on cue, he's coming out of Deersley now underneath the bridge, and checkered flag goes out and he cruises across the line, takes a long look over his left shoulder, but he'll see nothing but clear track because he's across the line with the victory. And giving the finger guns to Abby Marshall, who's watching on the pit lane here. So Adrian Kershaw is up next in the second position. Then it's Max McRae who holds on to third place. Sean O'Hara and Pete Woodall. In fact, Pete Woodall got it in the end. So Pete Woodall 0.062 of a second over Sean O'Hara. So that is for second and third in the C2s, the middleweights, fourth and fifth overall. Joe Holdsworth holds on to sixth place. That's second in the C1s. There goes Colt Dwyer on bike number 26. It was Calvin Grimes who returned to the pits at the end of the penultimate lap. Finn Chalk did find his way through up into 8th position from the back of the grid, and that is a podium in the C1s for Finn Chalk. So a bronze medal for him. Max Sylvester and Phil Ianson. 76 Ian Carter coming across the line now. Number 11 Mark Osborne is showing he's dropping 4 positions here. So we'll keep an eye on the whereabouts of the number 11. as across the line comes Joe Baldry and the 155 of the Paul Adams rookie rider. 129 up next, and that will be Fitzsimmons. So Osborne and Horner, that's Mark Osborne number 11 and Jamie Horner number 626, not showing as coming across the line on this final lap, unfortunately.
It's a great shame. So I think the van of shame, the vans of shame even, plural, they're going to have a little bit of collecting to do.
Got one down at Druids, Keith.
Okay.
That is... can't quite see the number in that one in all honesty, but there's certainly a bike being held at Druids at the moment. It looks like it could have been another one run off as well. I can see the marks in the grapple where they ran on and rejoined, but yeah, rider is up and okay. I can see them just stood behind the air fence and the tyre wall. Looks like one of the rookie riders there, unfortunately, at Druids.
So Simon Finch trying to make some running repairs, I think, to free his front brake off, I think that might be locked on. One of the mechanics has got, one of the marshals got some sort of universal toolkit there helping him to free it off, because if Simon can remount that bike and ride it, that'll be one less trip for the van to make. But